Hello. Why is it every time something gets updated? Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a calculator. Doesn't matter. Anything to do with Windows. As soon as it updates anything, mic stops working. You have to unplug it, plug it back in again, and it comes back to life. Anyway, afternoon, everybody. Peter, Baggy, Evil, Fletch, Gina, Emac, It's Time, Gregors, Evans, how we doing? Afternoon, Johannes. So, big moves today. We're on basically for the euro rate announcement. So today, 1:15 in 15 minutes, we're going to find out that the European rate has stayed the same at 4.5. Nothing's going to change. But we'll be interested to see what is in the monetary policy statement, which will come out alongside it. So we'll watch Financial Juice and see what happens there. There's been a lot of movement today, basically, mainly off the yen. Bit of euro weakness moving into the news as well. So once that news has come out at 1:15, then 1:30 we get the unemployment claims for the US dollar. Then 1:45 Lagarde will be speaking at the press conference, which will go on to somewhere between 2 to 2:15. At that point, you will get the move in the euro. Unless something in the statement is obvious or she says something obvious during the statement, in which case it might fly off. And then we've got Powell testifying at 3 o'clock, half an hour after market open this afternoon. He did that yesterday, so unlikely that will do anything today because everything we needed to know would have been said yesterday. But you just never know. There could be questions that he gets which weren't asked and suddenly it flies. So potentially it's a huge day today. But also, as we've seen with many rate announcements, it just does that. So if we look at what happened with the CAD yesterday, it didn't do anything, did it? So we'll see what happens today. But as you can see, there's been a lot of movement today. So if you look at the CAD, that was the CAD rate yesterday in there. Not really a lot. We got a couple of ADRs off of it, pretty much. That was about it. We had a big push up there, but not, no massive movement. We're not seeing, 200, 300 ADR moves off of interest rates at the moment because they're just not moving. So we'll see what happens. I've banked the load today. What should I do first? Let's run through the overnight news first. So overnight, we've got a lot of yen talk. So if we go back to this morning, which is all the way back here, we had the Japanese basically talking a lot. So Nakagawa progressing steadily towards meeting the price target, which is when they were going to change their interest rates. Risky asset biasing and other policies, if sustained achievement of price goal is judged. I don't know what that means. That doesn't really make much sense, that one, does it? The wage inflation cycle, which is why they're holding back on interest rates, they say is actually getting to where they want it to be. So this is basically the upshot of a lot of this stuff that they were saying is pointing towards potential rate change. So again, we've had confirmation that everything is going the right way, and if it continues, they will change their interest rates back up to 0 from negative 0.1, meaning the yen will power up dramatically. And that's exactly what we've had. 200% ADR moves across the board on the yen today. So not all yen, US dollar yen specifically, but 175. Let's look at the ADR dash. We can see them then, can't we? Makes sense, wouldn't it? So 200% ADR on US dollar yen, CAD yen 200, Swiss yen 150, Euro yen 175, Pound yen 175, Aussie yen didn't really do anything. So loads and loads of movement. So I just see what's going on with this Swiss franc ahead of the news because I've got some aggressive drawdown control positions on I need to deal with. So bear with me. We've got 10 minutes, haven't we? I just want to get these sorted before the news because the spreads are going to widen. So I'm just putting trailing stops on the Swiss franc positions because I've got aggressive drawdown control positions on, and I want them to stop out if the news goes against me. I'm putting just under 10-point trailers on them. Okay. So if the spread widens ahead of the news and it takes me out, fine, whatever. If it goes my way, everything goes into profit. Excellent. And I bank. If the spread doesn't widen and take me out, brilliant. And it goes ahead with me, fantastic. If it all moves against me, I want to be out and I want all this lot in the bank, which I've already banked 4.5% today already. But I've got a lot of positions on them. So yeah, so going back to the ADRs, big moves. I've been saying to short everything against the yen for a long time. And this looks like potentially it could be the start of the move. So if you do want to take mean reversions on these, up to you. It's a big drop. Yeah, it's a 3-day drop. And the entire move on the US dollar yen, 76 is ADR. The entire move is 285. So it's a very, very, very big move. You've got 4 ADR move pretty much in 3 days. So there is a chance we are going to get a pullback on this. However, if the Bank of Japan come out tomorrow and say, screw it, we're changing the interest rates next week, this thing is not coming back. So I would much rather be short. I would much rather miss that mean reversion and take an ADR hit to the upside short or an RSI hit to the upside short than I would try to long this at the moment. Anything yen. When they change these interest rates, it's going to carry on dropping. They're going to liquidate overseas assets. They're going to buy the yen. Everyone else is going to do the same, and it's just going to pump. So not interested in longing them. On the RSIs, I changed the EA to go short only. I completely forgot to change the US dollar yen, and it accidentally took 2 long positions for me today. So I had to close those out in a loss, unfortunately, because I don't want to be long on it. But that last sell is in profit now on that US dollar yen. I can hopefully close that out. Is it in profit? Oh, no, it's not. No, sorry. No, it's not. Different account I'm thinking of. US dollar Swiss. So I just need to get stuff protected and banked ahead of this news. The Swiss franc is going to move with the euro. So I'm just locking in profit on anything that is in profit, basically, just in case it goes the wrong way. The rest of that I can leave. I've protected everything on that, I think. Bear me a sec. How much is that? New Zealand dollar CAD. 90, 40, 0.25%. I want to bank that. Okay, leave the rest of that to run. Right, we've got 4 minutes to the news. Yeah, so that was the news basically overnight. Bank of Japan basically backing up what they said. We've been waiting for a couple of weeks. I've been mentioning it pretty much every day that we've been waiting for them to actually confirm what they said last month about, yeah, we are going to do the interest rates. And again, overnight, this is what we've had. So very, very nice movement on the yen today. So banked an absolute fortune. There is no preset idea on ending yield control with the exit from negative rates. So they're not looking to do specific things with exiting negative rates. They're just saying that they're going to do it, which is all good. Apart from that, no other news today. So we will watch the euro and see what happens there. If you're in any DAX trades from this morning, I would jump ship right now. If you're in profit, that is. Let's watch it over here because we can listen for ADR hits as well then. Let's go 15. Whoops, 15-minute chart. There we go. Afternoon, everybody else. I haven't said afternoon to. Senji, Astro, Steve, Amy, Sean, Brian, Virginia, Kennelly. Just bought that PC. Damn, I should have made that an affiliate link. That's the one I've got, yeah. Sitting there, working away, my VPS. So nice having your own VPS. So fast. So fast. Really good. Best £600 I've spent. I used to have a VPS, my own personal VPS, years ago, which was an old PC. And I decided to go online VPSs, which have been absolutely fine, but it doesn't. You can't beat having your own dedicated VPS server. Much better. How do you want what? 2 minutes to the news. Just quickly cover this morning's DAX trades. So this morning, DAX and FTSE both profit straight away. So we broke short on the DAX down to 1R, closed out the second. I'm drawing behind my head. So DAX, there's your pre-market range, broke south, straight to target, hit target, pulled back out, and then it flew. And FTSE was the same. There's a pre-market range, broke long, hit target, second one taken out because we hit 3R basically, almost just shy of my target. Then it pulled back. So I got a 1R and a 1R out of that today. So profit on both of those today. Obviously, New York doesn't open for a while yet. I'm trading in my cloud VPS for a dedicated box today, yes. It makes financial sense to do it. My VPS was £580. I was spending a good, depending how many VPSs I'd running at a time, $50 to $80 a month. So over a period of a year, that thing's paid for itself. If I run that for 2 to 3 years, it's just financially better. It's faster, financially better. The only thing is if there's a power cut or an internet cut, nothing I can do. Okay, news is out. Euro is doing nothing. Wow. Market really not interested in that at all, is it? Look at that. It is 115, isn't it? Jesus, that's the worst move I've ever seen in my life off of news. There we go. Euro odd 125 ADR. So Euro is trying to go short. Let's just see what's in the statement. So yeah, we got 4.5 as we were expecting. ADR's going off. You can hear now. Look, Euro pound ADR 125. Euro CAD has just hit ADR. So market having a slightly negative move on that. TP just hit on Euro US dollar. Euro pound just hit TP as well. Oh, that was the final part of that 3. Oh, I forgot to take one off. Oh well, that's better than I expected. That was a trade I took off before the news, and I forgot to take that bit off, obviously. So that's the final bit of that. Gone. Okay, so we have an initial negative reaction. Staff have revised down their growth projections to 0.6. Economic activity expected to remain scheduled subdued in the near term. Staff expect economy to pick up and grow at 1.5% in 2025, 1.6 This is all about GDP. What about rates? Not sure we're going to get an awful lot out of it, to be honest. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Mike, welcome aboard. Must the EA use a VPS? All EAs must use a VPS, yeah. Unless they're intraday. If you're using if you're using SIH, for example, if you're using the stock index hedge EA or the opening range breakout EA, you don't need a VPS because you're using it. If you want it to run full auto, then yeah, it's got to run on a VPS because it's got to be on, isn't it? Yeah, no EAs can run if they're turned off. Market's pulling back a little bit. This is more than likely just going to be a whipsaw because there is no news. So over the second half of the year, we intend to reduce the PEP portfolio. Projections for inflation, including energy and food, have also been revised down and average 2.6 for 2024. Okay, new inflation projections are 2.3% in 2024. Okay, so basically inflation forecast, they are expecting this year to drop no more than another 0.3, which is not enough. So that would be slightly bullish euro because it means that there's much less likelihood of them reducing interest rates early. Traders add ECB rate cut bets 97 basis points. So that's 1% drop this year. Starting in June, it will be still. So this is slightly bullish euro. I suspect I've just got out the euro Swiss. Yeah, out of the euro Swiss aggressives. That's fine. Out the pound Swiss aggressives as well. Okay. So a bit of an indecision on this at the minute, which is kind of what I was expecting. So we're waiting basically now for Powell. Powell? No, we're not. We're waiting for Lagarde at 1:45. So next news we've got is unemployment claims, which comes out at 1:30. So we'll see how the market reacts to that. That's coming out in 10 minutes. And then the press conference is at 1:45. So that's where we're going to find out really what we're getting at the moment here is the monetary policy statement, which is basically the pre-written statement produced with the interest rates, which is basically the ECB's way of saying this is why we have done what we've done. And these are the data points we've used and the potential movements that we see coming. So what the press will now do is read that, digest it, and then in half an hour get an opportunity to quiz Lagarde on everything that's said in there. This is where she will give more clarification. So at the moment, what you get with the monetary policy statement, this is the same as same as we had with the BOC statement there, and then you get the BOC press conference after. What this is just information, but the forward guidance is very rarely in there. It's given in the press conference. So this is where the market gets a chance to really probe and find out, should we be buying or selling? So when that happens, we tend to get the move kick off, if there is going to be one. If Lagarde basically says nothing new that we haven't heard already, all we're going to get is a whipsaw. But as you saw yesterday with the Bank of Canada, you do tend to get an intraday move, which is usually quite strong. So we'll see what happens. But we'll have a look at all the FX pairs and everything in a minute. There we go. More weakness coming in that Euro Swiss. So let's just see if that is the same across the board with the euro. Not much. Not much. Do you have any antivirus programs on your PC VPS? I don't know. I haven't installed one, actually, no. I use WebRoot antivirus for all of my stuff, so I should install WebRoot on there, actually. I haven't done it yet. Good point. Should have listened to the crickets on EU. Yeah, not sure the crickets know much about EU. I've never trusted the crickets in FX markets. I don't think you'll find it was going to give you any clear direction either at the moment. So, right. So there's quite a lot to look at today. We've got the news coming up in 7 minutes. So we'll watch that news and see what impact that has, and then obviously we can go from there. Oh, just one quick point. Somebody messaged me in Telegram. Still people talking to me in Telegram. I thought everybody moved to Discord, but there's still a lot of people in Telegram. About backtesting. So, and they've asked me to include something in the new EA for backtesting purposes, which I thought was a really good idea. So I did it. So what I've done is I've incorporated an export functionality in the new Position Trader EA. So what it will do is every day it will export into a spreadsheet certain data points about what's going on with the current market. Yeah. And it's a very useful thing for backtesting. So as an example, I've got a backtest on the screen here, you can see, which have just run over, I don't know, not long, a couple of weeks or something, I guess, probably. So it's taken 31 trades. It's banked $1,820 of profit. The maximal drawdown shown here is 4,650. Yeah. So what people assume is that relative drawdown or maximal drawdown basically is the maximum drawdown that was achieved by the test, and it's never ever been correct. It doesn't log open drawdown. So this is useful if you're using stop loss based strategies where you've got a set TP, a set stop loss, and it will give you a fairly accurate reading as to what's actually happened with individual trades. But it's utterly useless with position trading because what it does is it makes this calculation based on the order it closes trades in. Yeah. So if I close out a position that is in $700 of profit, for example, as the total basket of positions, but there is one trade in there which is at $4,650 of loss or something silly like that. That's what it will use there. So when you're doing your risk reward ratio calculations, people tend to use that figure and it's not right. So I built into the EA an export functionality. So what it does is basically every day at midnight, it exports data to a spreadsheet. And what this has got here, as you can see, is open profit. So this is the open profit of all trades in your account, or I'm going to put more data in here. So I'll have the actual instrument we're trading plus all open profit on the account. Yeah, you can see the maximum here that open profit drawdown got to was 2,583. Yeah, nowhere near 4,650. So when you look at this and you look at this profit factor here that says it's got a profit factor of 1.52, it hasn't, because it's based on that and that. Never got that. Yeah, open drawdown on account, and I've tested this, never hit more than $2,600. So I've incorporated this into the year. I've been building this in this morning and testing it to make sure it all works. And I've got it running on a live account as well, just to check it's working. So it's a really good addition to the EA, I think, for backtesting purposes, because it's going to allow us to actually see what the actual open drawdown was. which is something as position traders we've never had before. So it's going to be a very interesting thing to use, basically, for backtesting specifically. So just wanted to cover that because I left it open there to remind me. Not really moved anywhere yet. Right, so we got the news coming out in 3 minutes. So there's lots of RSIs and lots of ADRs today. Afternoon, Neo. So with the ADRs, obviously, you need to take a lot of these with a pinch of salt today. Anything related to the yen, I wouldn't want to go against. As you can see, the US dollar yen and the euro yen still pumping. So they are very, very, very extended, and there is a good possibility that, yes, they will have a pullback before they start a new leg down. But if this is going to be the Japanese talking up every single night, we're changing the interest rates, everything's going well, it's all going to come together, we're going to do it, it's unlikely people are going to scale out of any yen positions, which means you're not going to get a profit take move, you're not going to get a pullback. It's just going to either go into an accumulation and drop, or it's going to go into a flag and drop. So if it all goes quiet, it may well bounce and then put a new leg in to the downside. Of course, the US could come out and say something about them dropping interest rates in May, in which case it's going to go through the roof. We don't know. But at the moment, I wouldn't stand in front of this steam train. We've been waiting for this steam train to come into the station for weeks, and it's arrived. So I do not want to get in the way of it at the moment. So I'm personally not taking any longs off of ADRs. I've been sitting through this for nearly 3 weeks now, waiting for that. And now it's come. I'm not doing that. This is what we were looking for. This move back down to retest this propulsion gap at least. And this is now what we've got. So I'm not interested in longing it at the moment. It's too expensive to trade at the moment to hold long term. So I really just want to take trades in line with where it's going. And if it doesn't pull back and give me any entries, I won't get on any. Nothing I can do. But up to you. I have no idea if this is going to pull back or not. If it is, I would expect it to come back up into this area here. Yeah. But I don't know. So all of these yens that are extended today, as you can see, every single yen pair is extended. They are all ADR reversals. Aussie dollar yen's already bounced. Look, I've got out the short today in case it bounced, and it has. Your CAD yen is sitting down there still in accumulation. Pound odd has just hit ADR as well. Or was that pound CAD? Pound odd. Yeah, so New Zealand CAD. This is off the back of the US news. The US news has just come out. God, there's a lot to talk about today. Euro US dollar. Actually, that's not the best thing to gauge, is it? Pound US dollar is probably the best thing to use. Not a lot of movement off of that. So the unemployment claims, I imagine, have come out roughly 217. Exactly. There you go. So no news there. So nothing there. So we're waiting for Lagarde now in 15 minutes. So all of these yens basically are all extended. You may well get the bounces, but you will quite possibly also just get the flags. Yeah, this is big news for the yen. We've been talking about it for weeks. We've been waiting for it for weeks. It's happened. Just don't want to get in front of it. So that one, probably no. Pound yen, euro yen. Yeah, all these others, not so much. All the other ADRs you can see here will have been formed by the market moving into the yen. Yeah. So with the way that currency works, currency FX exchange rates work, is if you want to put a massive move into one currency, in this case the yen, what do you need to do? Liquidate other positions, because you haven't got an infinite amount of cash. So if I'm in a euro US dollar position over here, I'll decide I'm going to liquidate all the profit I've got in my euro US dollar because I want to buy the Japanese yen. So what you find is, as one currency strengthens dramatically, others will move quickly as well as people are scaling out of those positions. The other thing we've got today, obviously, is the euro. So a lot of these ADRs are euro based. Euro Swiss, for example. So again, these ones, we've just had the rate announcement come out as expected. Lagarde could undo that. Lagarde could also drop this dramatically. So again, on news days, ADR, when you've got so much news going on, ADR is incredibly profitable or incredibly dangerous. Yeah, because you could get a fundamental shift. If Lagarde comes out this afternoon and says everything isn't going quite as fast as we wanted it to, but I think we're about where we are. We were going to go in June. We're now going to go in May. The euro is going to collapse. We're going to hit 300, 400 ADR, and it's not going to stop for weeks. So you do not want to be longing it just because it's hit a line on a chart. Yeah, you've got to pay attention to the fundamentals. So everything you can see is either euro or yen based, and off the back of that, Aussie, US dollar and CAD based, because you'll be pulling money out of the US dollar and out of the CAD to put it into the yen. So pretty much everything you can see on the chart here has got a chance of bouncing, but on a news day like this, it's probably not the time to start trying to scalp quarter to half an ADR out. I've got the EA running, and it will be getting me into a lot of these positions. It won't be getting me into the yens, but all the others it will, if I'm not already in them. So euro pound, for example, I will be getting in on the next reversal alert. Yeah, but if you do not want to do that, and basically you're not interested in taking trades, you can open up your VPS and literally just go to the account and just uncheck auto trading, turn it off. Yeah. So up to you what you want to do with them, but there's a good chance that these will all mean revert. But some of these, obviously, you're not going to get reversals on them until all the way back up there. So what I tend to do on days like this is keep a very close eye on the P&L and keep a very close eye on price action, and just see what everything is doing, and make decisions as to whether I want to keep positions on or not. You know, so if I get a reversal alert on euro pound here and it gets me in long in about 2 hours time, I probably don't want it. So I'll just manually close it out. Yeah. But anything that really gets extended, you know, if we start getting down to 175s on things like the euro pound, and Lagarde hasn't said we're going to drop interest rates faster than anybody else, it probably will pay out. But I want a reversal alert somewhere nice and tight down here. I don't want it like over half an ADR away from where the move started from. Yeah, so just you just got to really pay attention on days like this. So those are the ADRs. We've got quite a few weekly hits as well, obviously because of the news. So on chart, Aussie CAD is extended on the weekly. So we've just hit the weekly range. It is Thursday. Yeah, so there's Monday. No, sorry, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that move there is 100% of its weekly range. It's a hell of a parabolic move as well. Look, weakness in the Canadian dollar, as we know. So yeah, very, very good chance of a pullback on that one. So that's a good opportunity for a reversal. I think I'm probably in that on the hourly. Yeah. So I was going to say, I'd be very surprised if we hadn't got an RSI extension on that. So there's your RSI extension, first entry taken today. So I'll be looking for a pullback move on that. I'm just going to target down there at the moment, just as a starter point, which is that weekly high, which is an area we've already tested and rejected. So we're looking for a double bottom bounce down there out of that propulsion move. You've got Euro New Zealand 150 ADR. Bye-bye Euro. How long have we got? Should we watch? The thing I love about the European press conference, the ECB press conference, is there's a man with a very special job. Yeah. If you watch the ECB press conference, there's a man and his sole job is to move the barrier away in front of the podiums before Lagarde comes on. Yeah. We'll leave that plane away, and we'll come back to that in 5 minutes or so. In fact, what I might do is I might pop it over there, and then I can bring it back in a minute. So I'll keep an eye on that. The barrier man, he's got one job. One job. It's a very important job, though. He has to remove the barrier for Lagarde. So yeah, you're in New Zealand. Weekly range has just been hit on that one. So you've got Aussie dollar, US dollar. Weekly range is hit. Again, it's Thursday. So I'm short on that on an ADR extension already. Actually, that was from yesterday's ADR extension. So that's second position taken. So again, been looking for a pullback on that. I haven't put any TPs on these today. I've just been taking profit today. I haven't even been paying attention to much at all. Let's go there. So I'm just going to go for that propulsion gap there. Somebody was asking about propulsion gaps in Telegram yesterday, and I wouldn't know this morning. And they don't get it. So I kind of said to come in the live room. I don't know if you're in the live room, whoever it was I was talking to in Telegram about it, but they are so unbelievably simple. All a propulsion gap is a large bank order. It's a large order. Yeah. So what this represents is bank movement. And price returns to these levels. That's it. It doesn't get any more complex than that. So if I go short here, for example, I would set a target in this propulsion gap. If price pushes away, I would then move up a propulsion gap. And then if this does this and then flies away again, I'll target the next propulsion gap. And I just keep moving my targets to propulsion gaps because all price ever does is move between propulsion gaps. Get a propulsion gap. There's another one there. Hits it. Propulsion gap. Filled. Propulsion gap to the downside. Filled. Pushed up. Left loads of propulsion gaps in place. Came back down and filled them. Then eventually came and filled this whacking great one here. Yeah. In doing so, it caused a propulsion gap. Where's it headed now? To that propulsion gap. Where's it come from? These propulsion gaps. All price does is go up and down and move through time. Where does it go? Where it's been before. What are these? Big orders that have got liquidity in them, which the banks are aiming for. It doesn't get any simpler. I don't quite know how to explain it any simpler than I do in the video, but there you go, propulsion gaps. So that's what I'm targeting on the Aussie US. The closest propulsion gap below my average price that makes me money. It's not any more complex than that. So there's Aussie US. Swiss yen also extended. Not there yet. I want to look at it on YouTube, actually. There we go. We can watch the big version then. Swiss yen extended on the weekly. Again, that one I probably wouldn't want to be longing. Euro odd is extended on the weekly. That's 150% of its weekly range done already. I've got longs on that. So I'll be taking another one today on that. Yeah, lovely mean reversion opportunity on that one there. I'm going to need to take another position on this. Hopefully we'll get a reversal alert fairly tight today. Last entry's there. That's going to be far too close. So what I'd like to see is a little bit of buying, a little bit more selling, and then get a reversal down here, which will bring the average down, and then just get out on that leg when it pulls back at some point. But that's extended to 150 weekly range. So obviously that's been mainly because of today. We've done 175% of ADR today alone. So that's why that one's extended more than normal. Euro yen wouldn't want to touch. Euro New Zealand. Again, that's just hit its weekly range. I'm out of the shorts too early. So again, I mean, we'll wait and see what Lagarde says in a minute, but we're just basically testing this area. Again, somebody posted in Discord yesterday, they put their target here for the Euro New Zealand dollar short and asked me if it was a good target. It's in a big propulsion gap. That's what market does. Comes and retests these propulsion gaps. There you go. And I said that is a really good area to target because the likelihood is that there's going to be buyers there because this is where the buyers were. They broke through that high with that move. So therefore they might well add into it again. But we'll wait and see what Lagarde says. Lagarde might do that. Lagarde might do that. Lagarde might just do this. Wait and see. So that's extended. So there's a good chance of a pullback on that. That is 100% of your weekly range. So you're looking for that. If this one, if you went long there, for example, when it didn't work out, where's it going? There. So buy it again. Wait for it to go up. And then it will have to pull back on that entire leg. Pound odd is the other extension. Again, 2 longs on that one. Just filled that lowest propulsion gap there. One more down to the downside. So there's one more target to the downside. Again, buyers stepped in, added to their order, pushed away. Market structure started. Off we go. Hit the double top. Rejected. M pattern reversal. Straight back down. Where are we going? There. Some point. Don't know when. Some point we're going up there. So pound odd, good opportunity for a push. I'm just going to put my TPs where they should be. Go for the higher one to start with, and then obviously adjust as we go. So those are your weeklies, and obviously US dollar yen is weekly extended as well. Okay, I just don't want to get in front of this US dollar. Come on, Lagarde. Got 2 minutes. I want to show everybody the barrier man. It's very important. But you are getting positive swaps longing US dollar yen, for instance. I don't know. I'm not longing it. You might get positive swaps, yeah. I'm not trading for swaps, trading for profit. Swaps are a cost of his own business. I can't do anything about it. What's the difference between the grey and the pale blue propulsion gaps? Grey are filled, blue are not. So this is a propulsion gap that the market has not completed. The grey ones, the market has come back through them. So yeah, so we pushed up, added, pushed away from, and then we came down and filled. So when this blue one here, when price gets down to here, that will turn grey. So it highlights where price is going, basically. So price is potentially coming down to here, but obviously, as we know, it's come down to here now. If it pushes up, it's going to go there, there, or there at the moment. If it continues to push down, it might make more propulsion gaps, in which case then those become the targets. Are we delayed or something? 1 minute to go, and the barrier man is not here yet. I shall keep monitoring him over there. Yeah, so those are your weeklies and your ADRs. We haven't had any monthlies just yet. I will probably get some, I think, coming up. So, how much of your success would you say is because of the discretionary part? I have no idea. Oh, here he is. Here he comes. Now, ready? Watch for the barrier man. Is it him or is it him? Who's it going to be? Left or right? Place your bets now. Barrier man on the left or barrier man on the right? You choose. Bearing in mind it might be reversed for you because you're looking through my screen. Left, right. Who's the barrier man? And the photographers get out of the way. Left, yeah, Johan's going left. Brian's going both. Brian might get a prize. There's only one barrier man. We don't get two. I've no idea, Johannes, how much of my success is down to discretionary trading. Everything in trading is discretionary. If you put the EA on full autopilot, you'll get what the EA gives you. I don't know whether it would have done better or it would have done worse. It's hedging. Bellino's going right. Johan's gone left. Aussie dollar, US dollar, we'll look at that in a minute. Oh no! This is the barrier man, I reckon. Put a wild card in. Yes, that's the barrier man. See, I fooled you. Wasn't either of them. He was a different bloke. He's missed one. Security guard got it. That looked like Tom Hurgard coming in then. There we go. So, we're off. Press conference has started. Barrier man has done his job. Aussie dollar, US dollar. So at the moment, I'm short Aussie US from yesterday. This is on the RSI extension. So first entry was taken yesterday there. Second entry has just gone in today. Could be pushed up again. So I'm looking for a pullback on that leg. Profit target. That propulsion gap gets me money. So I'll go there. Again, this is when you talk about discretionary trading. If you're using the market reversal alerts EA, it will get out when you tell it to get out. So in the settings, if you say, I want you to get me out when my position is in half an ADR of profit, you will need a total of 23 pips in total profit. If you say, I want you to get me out when I'm 0.25% in profit, it will need to move down so that your P&L shows 0.25% profit. I prefer to go, I reckon price is going to get there. I have no idea whether I should be taking half an ADR profit, 0.25% profit, 0.5% profit, or whether I should be targeting this propulsion gap, because I have no idea where price is going. But I know that propulsion gaps get filled, so that's what I'm targeting. That, I would say, is your conservative exit. That's your intermediate exit. That would be an aggressive exit. That's going to take a lot longer to get to than that. I'd rather be out with money in my bank secured than be twice as profitable over 3 times as long, or potentially the market going 50% retracement continuation bounce and never getting there. And I will be stuck in this trade for weeks. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. And everything you do with an EA is pure chance, pure luck, because you don't know where it's going. Nobody knows if this is coming to come back and hit here. If it doesn't come and hit here, the backup plan is we're going to push up into this propulsion area here. And what have we just created? Another propulsion gap. So if this market now pushes up to 200 ADR, I've got position 1, position 2, and I will take position 3 there. My average price will move up to here, and that will become my profit target. I could leave it where it is and look for a 50% retracement on the whole move, or I could just go with a 38. The decision you make on where you get out, when you get out, is down to you. But at the end of the day, it's governed by one thing and one thing only. Is that green? Yeah, put it down there. I don't know when it's going to become green, and I don't know how red it's going to get either. But I do know that the market goes up and down, and as long as it's going to do that, I'm going to bank money. That's it. So I've got $128 I can bank there, which is equivalent to 0.25%. Do I want to make this 2% today? That's my decision. Euro Swiss, shall I get out of it now? Or shall I wait? Look at my target. It's a ridiculous target. It's in the middle of nowhere and we're hitting a double bottom. So I'm going to choose to exit. But my choice was made by what I saw on the chart, which is that support resistance zone, which we've hit. And Lagarde is about to talk. I have no idea where this is going. Yeah, that's what's made that decision. Not me, not the EA, not anything else, but me, because we're in the middle of a news event with Lagarde talking, and it's hit a resistance, previous resistance turned support. I don't know if it's the right decision or not. We'll find out. We'll cover the RSIs in a sec. Can you look at US dollar CAD? So US dollar CAD just got in with a long yesterday on ADR. RSI I got in with a long yesterday as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so pretty much the same trade because it hit ADR. That was the reversal there. Actually, I've got 2 on the ADR reversals. H1, M5 just got 1 position on. So at the moment, coming down fast. Again, this is what I think the yen's going to do, and potentially the euro as well. But we're coming into a nice area of balance. So we've literally tapped last week's low. Buyers are stepping in. So we'll see if there's enough limit orders to trigger this back up again from here. If not, we're coming back down to retest either that low there, or we're coming down to test these lows here. So either way, looking for a 125 or 150 ADR for a third position. Average will come down, and then I will target back up into that propulsion. I've only got one position on here at the moment. So this one, I'll just stick up here roughly halfway in that propulsion gap. See if we can get that. On the other account, it's got two positions on. So my targets on this one, going to put them in the same place. So this lower position here, up there, higher one. Yeah. So average is here. So I'm just looking for a push up. And if we're not going to go higher, we should find sellers here because that's where the sellers lost. And if you're a buyer, buyers lost. So the buyers were buying this level. Yeah, they got run over, which means they will have flipped short. So now everybody's short. If we push back up to here, the guys that flip short of this zone will start to sell, which means we'll put a sell potentially in. But we may need to come all the way down here before we get any kind of bounce. Let's quickly look at, I've just closed financial juice. I've just realized. She's talking already. Blimey. Straight into it. So yeah, Lagarde is talking. So we'll just watch out for news spikes, basically. So what we'll do is we'll go through the RSIs as well. So Euro US dollar still coming down. I might need to do some profit taking here as well while I'm talking. That Euro pound long is going to get into a bit of hot water, but nothing I can do about that. I might do some drawdown control on this just in case the euro powers up. As Euro CAD ADR. I'm just going to close out some of this pound Swiss size. That's above the line. I can't close that. I need to close that. How much is that worth? So I just need to quickly just... the 67 is 490. That one. I'm just going to close that lower position out there at $700 off the P&L. So that was that lowest position I've closed out on the pound Swiss, just reducing some drawdown on it, just in case it continues to run. I might close a little bit more out of this as well. 67. What was that? 67. 0.3. I'll close off of that. Just closing half of that one there as well. So just doing a little bit of drawdown control just to get on top of this pound Swiss a little bit more. The Euro Swiss is sitting just under 3%. So this is obviously coming down nicely at the moment. So if Lagarde keeps talking this down today, we will get a continuation push down on that. So looks like at the moment, you see how quick this can change. This could flick up immediately as soon as she says one thing. So Peter, no change on interest rates, 4.5. Nope, you're a little bit late. They came out ages ago. Mumo, good point. 73 people in here. We've got 20 odd likes. Come on. Hit some thumbs, people. Right. Just want to keep an eye on that because I can do some profit taking. Right, so RSIs, again, same story with the RSIs at the moment. At the moment, I've got the EA turned off longs. I forgot to do it on US dollar yen. I have now closed it off. All the other yens I'd shut down. I forgot to do the US dollar yen. I don't know why. So I've had to take a little bit of loss on the US dollar yen because it longed. But 225 ADR, and obviously RSI, as you can see, is completely embedded. So this is extended beyond the 20 level on the hourly. The 4 hourly as well is very, 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 very extended down to levels. You know, these we're sitting down at 13. Anything below 15 on the 4 hour RSI, it's very unusual for you not to get a very decent, strong bounce off of it. Yeah. That was your last extension there. Yeah. So, and there's one here as well. You can't quite see it, but it's on the chart. So where we are now, obviously down here, it's highly probable that we're going to get a bounce. Yeah. The market can't sustain moves of this strength. This is what the relative strength index tells you, what the relative strength between the two currencies is. We've just had negative news US. We've had positive news yen. When the yen powers up, money comes out of the US dollar to buy the yen. So this always moves the fastest and hardest, but it can't sustain it because there will literally be nobody else left down there wanting to buy. So everybody wanting to sell it, you've got no one there wanting to buy it. You literally can't sell it anymore because somebody's got to take the opposite side of your order. The banks will have positioning short. There's no banks at the moment saying, yeah, all right, let's long it. They want to buy the yen. They do not want to sell the yen. So what will happen is the speculative part of this move, yeah, will unravel. Yeah, and then they will add more speculative orders in once it's unraveled. Where it unravels to is always the unknown. That's what we can never know. Once you get a move, you get a profit take. You get a move, profit take, move, profit take. Yeah, move. We're going to get a profit take. How far it will be, we don't know. So you can long it if you want to, but how far it's going to go, just don't be greedy with it, basically. So that is massively extended. You can see all the other yens as well are very, very extended. Again, same thing goes for these. I've got shorts on. Look at that pound yen. Look at that. I'm flat, right? My average price is there. That is where price is, and I'm flat. But that is swap. That's how much money this has cost me to hold it. Yeah, I've paid 97 pips of swap. So it's 1 ADR distance in swap fees. Unbelievable. So I'm going to close that out and get that exposure off. That's going to close out with a very tiny profit of $86. It's not even there. I just won out of that one. So just tiny little hit on it. So that one basically is a good mean reversion opportunity. It's likely as well to mean revert, as all these yens are. But the thing that worries me about this is this move is caused because of the Bank of Japan announcing an interest rate change. If they keep talking that interest rate change up, there's nobody really going to want to buy this. Yeah, there's no bank or institution in their right mind would sell yen coming up to a potential market moving interest rate change. So I think what is more likely to happen with all of these yens is we get a flag break. So if you measure it with a fib, when you're looking at market structure, a very shallow pullback or a flag is to the 23 moving average or about some. Nothing's ever accurate, but it gives you a guide. Yeah. So if this move here is going to turn into a flag, will look something like that. If it's going to look like a shallow market structure pullback, i.e. a small profit take on this move, we'll be looking somewhere around about 38 and we'll pull back from there. If it's going to be a normal market structure move, typically we move around about 50 to 61.8 retracement. A deep pullback is up to the 71.9. Yeah. So if you look at all these moves on a chart, any move you see on a chart that is market structure based, you will always find that is a 50% retracement. That is a flag break, 23% retracement. That is a 100% retracement, A-shaped recovery. Yeah, didn't go anywhere. Then it pushed up. Then we had a pullback to what? 61.8. pushed up just below those highs and we've pulled down. So where are we putting back to? No idea. If we knew that, we'd do it. We don't. But that's what happens. This is what market structure is. Market structure is a series of lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, nothing, high. That's a low again, basically. So market structure is legs climbing up the stairs. Then you fall down the elevator shaft when the profit take move happens. What you're seeing here is currently 38 retracement on that leg. Yeah. Is it going to turn into bearish market structure or is it going to go bull? Are the Japanese going to turn around and go, actually, no, we're not going to do anything with the interest rates? Oh, right. We'll sell it. Yeah, we don't know. Nobody knows the future. If we did, we would know what to do, wouldn't we? You don't. So all you can do is say there's certain things that can happen from here, and you need to just use measured movement to guess where it's going to go. There's other clues in the market. Big orders placed by banks. So these two propulsion gaps are one big order, which is likely to get retraced into. However, if we're going to get that 23 retracement, it's just going to flag break into there and they're going to sell this level. Yeah, accumulation breaks basically is what propulsion gaps are. We accumulate, we break the range. We accumulate, we break the range. We're accumulating. We will either break the range or we will profit take on a portion of this move and then add to our position from where we added last time, which is there. Yeah. So this is what propulsion gaps are. This is why the price continuously returns to them. So with all of these, there's a good chance of a pullback. But again, same as ADRs. May do, may not do. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So you've got quite a few others on here as well. But everything is moving off the back of this yen move. So nothing you can see here is really anything you could say that looks like a normal move. Yeah. So all these RSIs you've got at the moment, Aussie dollar, US dollar, for example. Yeah. This is all happening because of the yen and the news we've had with the Canadian dollar weakening. When the Canadian dollar weakens, the US weakens. When the US weakens, the Canadian dollar weakens. Why is Aussie dollar, US dollar ramping up? Because they pulled out the US dollar yesterday. What have they done today? Sell more of it because they want to buy the yen. Yeah. They will undo that move. Yeah. They're sitting in whacking great chunks of profit on it. They will take a portion of that off. So the pullbacks will happen. It's whether or not they are strong enough. And this is what position trading is all about. At the moment, what I need the banks to do is a 50% retracement on this leg for me to be able to get out of my position in profit. If they decide to do a 23.8 flag break, I can't get out. So my decision here is, shall I exit with a break even or hold it? And if it pushes up, I'm going to need to scale in more. But what happens because they haven't done that big retracement is on the next portion of the leg, let's say that flag breaks like that and pushes up to there, they will want to take a portion on that whole move there. So therefore my target just moves up below my average price to the next area where it looks like they're going to come to, which is a propulsion gap, break of that high. Yeah, propulsion gaps will virtually always appear around breaks because it needs a massive amount of momentum to get through that level because the market's selling it. When you get back to it, the market sells it again. You need a lot of orders to get through, which causes propulsion moves. As that happens, banks get caught offside and return back to that area to do the unfinished business. Literally all the market is doing is just banks exchanging money at the end of the day and making profit. So all of these are potential mean reversion opportunities. The news we've got coming up, we're not sufficiently confident on inflation. So that would be bullish euro. So other news we've got coming up, obviously, we've got Powell testifying again this afternoon in an hour. Unlikely he's going to say anything that he didn't say yesterday, so probably no movement there. We've got Mester speaking later on today. So tomorrow is basically the first opportunity the banks and institutions have got to undo the moves that have gone in this week. So we've had weekly ranges hit. We've had multiple ADR hits back to back. So we've got these two news events tomorrow, which will potentially push the market back down again. Yeah. So depending on what happens with these, they're either going to rally. So the moves that we've seen will flag today and then probably do that tomorrow ahead of the news. And then the news will either be bullish or bearish. Yeah, if it's bullish, you scale into your positions and wait for the next area to come down to. So all of these are opportunities to get in. And if you've got the market reverse alerts EA, as you can see, it will have got you in already. So I'm already short on this one. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. But loads of opportunities this week. First proper decent week's worth of moves we've had, isn't it? It's the first time I think we've hit ADR levels, weekly levels before Friday. We haven't had weeklies hit for a long time, have we? Because the market's just been flat as a pancake. So it's good that we're getting some movement, but this will all calm down and contract again because, as Lagarde has just said, we're not sufficiently confident on inflation. So it's not going anywhere. Yeah, interest rates are not going anywhere until they are confident inflation is under control. When it is, interest rates will drop. Until then, there's no bullish bias and there's no bearish bias, which causes us to go what? Sideways. That's all we're getting at the moment. Sideways moves. So no reason for them not to continue. But we'll wait and see what the next news says tomorrow. Afternoon, just came back from work. Cool. New Zealand dollar yen. I think I just covered that, didn't I? Well, and actually, New Zealand dollar yen is one of the few that we've got no extensions on. So there's no ADR hit today. We're not extended on RSI either. So I had a long trade there, which I got out of because I don't want to be long. That's the day that I turned the EA off because I realized it was taking long. So I was like, I do not want to go long. But I could have got out of it at the break even. But anyway. So yeah, this is one of the few that is holding up. One of the reasons being it's an Australasian pair. So these two move during the Asian session. Yeah. So the New Zealand doesn't get manipulated as much during the European session. So you'll find there's less movement on the Aussie and the New Zealand against Australasian pairs. So Aussie, New Zealand and yen move in Asia. Everything else moves in Europe and US. But again, if they start to unravel part of this yen move tomorrow, we'll be back up. But I doubt we'll get above that high. This is what I would class as probably an orphaned propulsion gap. So when you get these big propulsion gaps that don't get retested, which is not often, it's either one of two things. It's a fundamental shift, i.e. the New Zealand dollar interest rate changed and we went, holy crap, we need to be selling the New Zealand dollar now, and you'll never get back to it. Or if you do, you'll just test the bottom of it and get driven away like that because the sellers are there and they're not letting you past. Or it is two strong news events back to back. So this one was the New Zealand dollar interest rate. Yeah, the market reacted negatively to it. Now we've sat around and the Bank of Japan said, hey, guess what? We're going to do our interest rates. And we were like, oh, we need to be buying the yen then. And again, we need to be buying the yen. So basically, you've had a negative news event on one currency followed by a positive news event on the other currency, meaning that the price is just never going to get back there. So at some point in the future, if fundamentals don't change, it probably will. But that will take weeks and months quite often to get back to these big ones when they're left alone. But that doesn't mean if you went long here and you were targeting that and it pushes down, doesn't mean you need to target that, does it? Because if you go long here and it doesn't work out, you push down, you take a second entry, you move your average price down to there, and now you target this propulsion gap. You get out there. And if that one doesn't work, and price pushes down and you get another long in there and it just flags and drops and comes back down. Let's say it comes back down all the way to test there. Your average price will be moved down to somewhere like that. And there'll be a propulsion gap in there somewhere that you can target to get out. And that's it. So yeah, New Zealand dollar yen not going anywhere basically. Adil, I am long euro yen. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just obviously you are fighting against a very strong yen at the moment. This is basically Lagarde talking the market back up at the moment. So she's just basically said that they're not sufficiently confident on inflation. So this number isn't coming down fast enough. And until that number comes down as fast as they like, that's not coming down. When that comes down, euro will drop. But as the number isn't sufficient, they're not going to drop that, which is more bullish. But it's actually not bullish or bearish. It's neutral. It's not anything. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're just waiting for that to change, basically. So it will go up and down and fluctuate. But there's a good chance you may well get a V-shaped recovery on this, or you could get a 50% retracement back into that propulsion move and they'll sell it from there. Or we'll just do inside bars and we'll go sideways until tomorrow. And then the US dollar will have terrible news and everyone will pile all money out of that into the yen and we'll scream back down again. No idea. One of those things is going to happen. Where's AZ waiting for him to poke the bear? I think he's stopped poking, isn't he? I try not to get poked. Take partial at the gap above. Yeah, if you want to take a partial. If you take a partial, I mean, first of all, you've got to get there. Yeah, so for you to get there, you've got to put a move in that strong. Yeah, which is 99 pips. ADR is 93. So what you're saying is I need market to push down 225% of ADR and then push back 100% of ADR to get out. So you're looking for an ADR hit to the upside as a profit take, which is, you know, it's less than 50% of that move. So it's certainly possible, isn't it? But if it doesn't get there, obviously, you just need to scale in. But these yen moves, you know, I say this in the live room all the time. These yen moves start all the time and then don't last. Yeah. The difference between this yen move and other yen moves is this one has been instigated from the intervention level. Yeah. So this is the previous intervention from October. I think it was 2022, wasn't it? Was it 23? 23, yeah. Sure, there was one in October 22 as well. Anyway, so yeah, that was the previous intervention. Yeah, because this is 4-hour chart. And then the second intervention, and then the final nail in the coffin. This move, as you can see, has started from this 150 level, which is what I keep saying is the market can't sustain that. It doesn't work for the Japanese. So there's a very good chance that this will be the one that starts it. And what we will see is now a move over the next 2 to 3 months like that. And then when we get back down to there, we'll see what's happening with the US interest rates. We'll see what the Japanese have done with their interest rates. But that should start a cascade effect now. But it's not going to come down in a straight line. Yeah, look at where it is. Yeah, they're going to need to profit take this before they can continue the move, basically. Listening in the background at work, see he's there. He's always there. He's always there. Any reason why the Australian dollar is strong the past 2 days? Just money coming out of other currencies. The Aussie dollar is a commodity pair and it's Australasian based. They do an awful lot of business with China and Japan, and it's powering up. Just a strong move. You know, there doesn't have to be a reason for something to power up. Yeah. It's just basically the bank's starting a new leg. The bank's working quarterly and monthly cycles. So this is just them now needing to execute more orders. You've got a weak Canadian dollar, hence that's rallied. Canadian dollar is another commodity pair. It's oil-based. Yeah, Swiss franc, euro weakening into the interest rates. New Zealand dollar has not done a lot because Aussie and New Zealand moves together. US dollar's been weak off the back of the Canadian. So I would say it's not really that's strong, is it? That's weak. Don't forget there's two currencies at play with every pair you're trading. Yeah, if the Aussie dollar is screaming to the upside, doesn't mean there's an Aussie dollar that is potentially strong. It could be that the euro, the US dollar, and the Canadian dollar have all weakened at the same time. Makes it look really strong. It's not. It's these three moving down that has caused that to go up across the board. Which is why you should always, whenever you see a big strong move on something, look at all the pairs. Why is this pushing up? Yeah, the Aussie economy is not stronger than the US. Yeah, so you're not going to find this is the reason. You find it's another reason. It's usually the other currencies are weak. The US dollar is the king of currencies. Over 60% of all transactions worldwide are done in the US dollar. That is what moves everything, which is why we call them the majors, or the major crosses are the US dollar against all other currencies. What's my thoughts on the Euros are? It's a ridiculous thing to trade, and if you're trading it, you're going to lose all your money. Can you check analyst forecasts for currencies using fundamentals and they're right? You can check analyst forecasts for currencies using fundamentals and they're right. About 50% of the time. Correct. Exactly. It does. The thing you got to understand is, right, people like Warren Buffett, right, who is one of the most successful investors on the planet in history. Yeah, multi-billionaire. He has no idea whether a market is going up or down. He doesn't need to, because he trades in the same way as that I trade, in that I don't need to know where it's going. I need to know it's going to go somewhere. That's all you need. When the market does this, it's very hard to make money. When the market's doing this, it's really easy to make money, because if they do that, they have to do that. They do that, they have to do that. Once they've done that, they'll need to do this. But if they do that, we just sit there and do nothing. You can't make money. So, Warren Buffett hasn't got a secret line to Barclays Bank, HSBC Bank, Citibank, all the other banks. Which way's the market going today? He's basically scaling into market movement, because he knows that the market goes up and down. But he doesn't know when, same as I don't know when, and nobody else does. You just trade when you see an opportunity to trade. You look for historical patterns. When the market pushes up, it pulls back. What's it just done? What's it likely to do? Is it going to do it now? I've no idea. It will do it at some point in the future, because it always does. You've just got to be able to hold the position long enough to take the profit, which is why position trading is all about using small lot sizes multiple times so that you get in and out of the trades. And you get the paydays like today. But, there's no saying that these moves are going to continue in that direction or that direction. Every single candlestick you see on your chart is literally just a representation of price over time. So this is a representation of what is happening in this 1 hour on the Euro Swiss. Yeah. If you look at it on this time frame, it looks massively bullish. But if you're a 1 minute trader, you're going sell, sell, sell at the moment, because it's coming down. Look. You look at it on a 5 minute chart, you'll be thinking, it's stalled. Yeah. You look at it on a 1 hour chart, you do nothing but a buyer. All it is a representation of price over time. But that candlestick there means absolutely nothing. This one here that was massively bearish, does that mean you should have sold it there? No. Not this time. Next time, maybe. Every one is just literally a random movement in the market caused by banks and institutions. You've got no way of predicting the future, so you just get in. And 50% of the time, you'll be right. The other times, you just deal with it. But don't take the loss. Market is about to open in 10 minutes. Up to you what you want to do. I'm not trading today on the US indices because we've had a huge move. So we're above ADR there. We're above ADR there. We're at ADR there. So we've had a very, very large move obviously going today, because we've had an awful lot of news, an awful lot of movement in the markets. So there's a good chance that the market is going to be tired at the open, which means that we could well just get a whipsaw and a rotation day for the rest of the day. Up to you if you want to trade it. Can do. I'm not saying I have no idea whether it's going to be a nice, clean, quick break or whether it's going to do anything. I have no idea. So, but on days historically which we've had large movement, we don't tend to get a large afternoon because the market's done its liquidity. So I'm going to leave them this afternoon, and we'll retrade again tomorrow morning because I've got it's all profit from the morning. So, but up to you on the indices. But I'd be very wary of trading at the moment because I think Lagarde is still going. Yeah. So she's taking the questions at the moment. So this is the bit where, you know, we're all asking the questions and she's given us clarification. So Bowman coming out there and saying we're not at the point yet where we've, you know, it's all about inflation. Everything's about inflation at the moment. We're not there yet. We're not at the point where we're in an area we can drop that interest rate. Just mute that. Right. That's all I've got really for you this afternoon. So lovely day today. So banked 2% on H1M5, banked 7.5 there now on ADR reversals, just because I've done some drawdown control. I might do a little bit more DD control, but I'm just going to monitor the Swiss franc pairs and see where we go this afternoon. I'll be adding more onto that Euro Swiss if we get up to there and add another short on. H1 hedging banked 9% today. That's sitting in 29% now. Again, just what it does, it banks money all the time and it sits in drawdown all the time. So a little bit more comfortable than it was yesterday. It was the day before. It was 40-something%, wasn't it? I'm not enjoying this strategy at all. I enjoy making money, but actually running this thing is nail biting. I was going to use another word then. But yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of money. We did 30% last month. We're up 20% already this month. So 50% so far in a week, in about 6-7 weeks. Did I start it? 11th of January was the first trade taken. January, February, March. No, sorry, we're not up that much, are we? Where are we? February. March, yeah. 7th of March. So, yeah, up a lot. It's not fun, is it? Well, it's fun. Depends how much fun you have when you go to sleep at night thinking, I hope that doesn't push. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But I should be working on the new EA further over the next couple of days. It's still not ready yet. I've still got stuff I want to do, enhancements I want to make, more testing I want to do before I push it out there, basically. So I just really want to get it right first time rather than have to muck about updating it constantly. So it's still in the progress, but doing good stuff. Right, that's all I've got. Anything you need, let me know in Telegram or Discord. I'll be back tomorrow. Where are we tomorrow? I think we got one tomorrow. Friday, yeah. So 1:15 tomorrow afternoon. We'll be on for non-farm payroll. So tomorrow, the only thing you got to worry about this afternoon really is Powell again, but I wouldn't worry about that. Mester's probably not going to say anything that Powell hasn't said. So tomorrow I'll be on at 1:15. We will trade the unemployment rate for the US dollar and Canadian dollar. So potential for all the moves this week to be undone tomorrow afternoon. But equally, non-farm payroll has been very much like that over the last few months. In fact, over the last sort of year, we've not had an awful lot of big moves caused by it because we're not interested in unemployment rate anywhere near as much as we are interested in the other fundamentals at the minute. So the unemployment rate is a byproduct of the inflation figures at the minute. So it's these two that we're interested in, not so much that. But the market will use it to inject liquidity and fill orders. So pullback time could be tomorrow. in which case, obviously, anything as usual you've got in profit, you want to be banking ahead of the news. So we'll have a look at that and see how that goes tomorrow. But yeah. All right, so anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Have a good day. See you next time.